Have you ever wondered why Chinese, Korean, and Japanese people, though they all come from East Asia, can seem so different? They may look somewhat similar to outsiders, but once you take a closer look, you'll find deep cultural, historical, and even behavioral differences. Today, we're going to explore 7 shocking differences between these 3 incredible peoples. Differences that go beyond just language or food. We're talking about the way they think, behave, treat others, and even view the world around them. By the end of this video, you'll never see East Asia the same way again. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to be surprised, because what you're about to learn might just challenge everything you thought you knew. Let's begin. One of the most noticeable differences is in physical appearance and beauty ideals. To outsiders, people from China, Korea, and Japan may seem to have similar features, but locals often say they can tell each other apart instantly. In China, the country is vast, so physical traits vary by region. People in the north tend to be taller, with sharper features, while people in the south often have smaller frames and softer facial features. Koreans are known for high cheekbones, flatter facial profiles, and a strong jawline. But more than that, Korea is famous for cosmetic surgery. Many Koreans undergo procedures like double eyelid surgery or nose reshaping. In fact, Seoul is called the plastic surgery capital of the world. In Japan, people generally have lighter skin tones and a softer, more delicate facial structure. But the key difference is in beauty ideals. Japanese beauty focuses more on natural appearance, pale skin, small faces, and modesty. Makeup is soft and subtle. Korean beauty, on the other hand, is more polished, glowing skin, well-defined features, and a very perfect look. Chinese beauty trends tend to change more often and are influenced by both East and West. Big eyes, fair skin, and a slim body are common ideals, but there's also a rising trend of celebrating traditional Chinese features. So while they may share some genetic background, the way people present themselves and what they consider beautiful varies greatly. And once you know what to look for, the differences become surprisingly clear. The second shocking difference is in language and communication. The languages of China, Korea, and Japan may all use Chinese characters to some extent, but they are completely different in how they sound, how they're written, and how people communicate. Chinese, Mandarin, is a tonal language. That means the tone you use changes the meaning of a word. For example, the word ma can mean mother, horse, or scold, depending on the tone. Chinese is often spoken quickly and directly. Korean is not tonal, and its writing system, Hangul, is considered one of the most logical and easy to learn. But the grammar is complex, with levels of formality that reflect social status. Japanese is also not tonal, and it uses 3 writing systems: hiragana, katakana, and kanji, which are borrowed Chinese characters. The grammar is even more complex than Korean, especially in polite speech. But the biggest difference lies in how people communicate. Chinese communication is often direct and bold, especially in business. Being clear is seen as respectful. Koreans tend to be more hierarchical. Age and rank affect how you speak. There's a strong sense of respect for elders. Japanese communication is the most indirect. There's even a term called reading the air, which means understanding what is being implied without it being said. Saying no directly is considered rude, so people often say things in a roundabout way. So while all 3 cultures value respect, how they show that respect through language is surprisingly different. Let's talk about food, because when it comes to meals, there are huge differences in culture, flavor, and table manners. Chinese cuisine is diverse. The country is massive, and each region has its own unique style, from spicy Sichuan dishes to sweet Cantonese flavors. Food is bold, rich, and made to be shared. In China, eating is social. Big meals are common, and it's polite to offer others food before you eat. Korean food is spicy and fermented. Think kimchi, gochujang, chili paste, and lots of garlic. Meals often include many side dishes, called banchan. Korean meals are very structured. You don't start eating before the eldest does, and it's polite to turn your head away when drinking alcohol with seniors. Japanese cuisine is more delicate. It focuses on balance, simplicity, and presentation. Sushi, tempura, and miso soup are famous examples. Japanese food is about harmony, flavor, color, and season. Meals are quiet and respectful. Slurping noodles is okay, but talking loudly is not. Even the way food is served differs. In China, dishes are placed in the center and everyone shares. In Korea, each person has their own bowl, but many side dishes are shared. In Japan, meals are more individual. Each dish is presented separately with great attention to detail. And don't forget chopsticks. All three use them, but Chinese chopsticks are long and square. Korean ones are flat and made of metal, while Japanese chopsticks are short and tapered. Small tools, big differences. Next is work culture and daily life. If you ever visit these countries, this may shock you. In China, people work hard, especially in cities. The term 996 is used to describe working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. There's a strong drive for success, and competition is fierce. But Chinese society is also flexible and fast-changing. People adapt quickly to new trends and technologies. Korea, on the other hand, is known for intense work pressure. People often stay late at the office, not just to work, but to show loyalty. And after work, it's common to go out drinking with colleagues. Refusing can be seen as rude. There's a saying in Korea, "You live to work." Japan, too, has a strong work ethic. But it's different. The Japanese value precision, order, and teamwork. People take pride in doing things correctly, even if it takes time. Being late is unacceptable. People also tend to stay in one job for many years. It's about loyalty and discipline. So while all three cultures value hard work, China is fast and flexible, Korea is intense and social, and Japan is calm and disciplined. Now let's talk about manners, and this one may surprise you the most. Japanese people are extremely polite. Bowing is part of everyday life. Silence is often more polite than words. Trains are quiet. People line up perfectly. Personal space is respected. Koreans, while also polite, are more casual. They bow too, but not as deeply or as often. Friendships are louder and more physical, arm-holding, playful teasing. Age plays a big role in how you treat others. You must speak differently to someone older. Chinese social behavior is more open and expressive. Talking loudly in public is not unusual. Bargaining in markets is expected. People might cut in line or shout across a restaurant, and that's not considered rude locally. Respect exists, but it shows up in different ways, like offering you tea or paying for your meal. One shocking difference? In Japan, blowing your nose in public is seen as disgusting. In China, it's common. In Korea, it depends on the setting. Cultural etiquette is not about right or wrong. It's about what's normal in that society. But beyond behavior and manners, there's something even deeper that shapes how people live, celebrate, and mourn. It's their spiritual and religious foundation. China is officially atheist, but traditional beliefs like Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism still shape values. Ancestor worship is common, and feng shui influences how people build homes and businesses. There's also growing interest in Christianity, especially in rural areas. Korea is very religiously diverse. You'll find Buddhists, Christians, and Confucian traditions side by side. About 30% of Koreans identify as Christian, one of the highest in Asia. But even non-religious Koreans often follow Confucian values like respect for elders and family duty. Japan is spiritual, but not very religious in the Western sense. Most people follow Shinto and Buddhism, but it's more about rituals than belief. Weddings might be Christian style, funerals Buddhist, and New Year's spent at a Shinto shrine. It's about tradition, not doctrine. In short, China values ancestral spirits and balance. Korea, on the other hand, mixes modern religion with ancient values, while Japan blends spirituality into everyday life without much dogma. Three countries, three very different spiritual landscapes. Last but not least, let's take a look at how these nations see themselves. China sees itself as a great civilization with 5,000 years of history. The pride is in its long-standing culture, inventions, and global influence. Being Chinese means being part of something ancient and powerful. Korea has a strong sense of survival. It was invaded many times, colonized by Japan, and split into North and South. But it's a nation that bounced back. South Korea went from poverty to global tech and culture leader in just decades. National pride is deeply rooted in this comeback story. Japan is proud of its uniqueness. The idea of Nihon Jinrin means theories of the Japanese people, that Japan is special and different. The country remained isolated for centuries and developed a strong national identity. Pride comes from refinement, tradition, and resilience after events like World War II. Each country tells its own story of who they are, and these stories shape how people see the world and themselves. So now that we've explored these 7 shocking differences, let's look back. We saw how appearances and beauty standards reflect cultural values. We learned that language and communication reveal how people think. We tasted the richness of food and manners across 3 kitchens. We stepped into the daily grind of work life, where time moves differently. We witnessed how manners and etiquette tell a society's story. We explored the heart of spiritual beliefs, both ancient and new. And we discovered the deep roots of national identity and pride. Understanding these differences isn't just interesting, it's powerful. Because the more we understand each other, the more respect we build. And now we ask you, which of these differences surprised you the most? Have you ever visited China, Korea, or Japan? What did you notice that we didn't mention? Leave your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your experience. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who loves learning about culture and people. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.